Did you know there was once a kingdom where men were giants? They stood taller and stronger than any others, unshakable like the Iroko tree. But everything changed the night their king, Eze-Oba, decided he could take the moon from the sky. The gods saw his arrogance, and their punishment haunts them to this day. Nnokwa was a kingdom like no other. It was one of the greatest kingdoms of ancient Igbo land. Their warriors were giants, their muscles like iron, their feet unyielding against the earth. No kingdom dared to challenge them because they were unbeatable. They were proud, and none was prouder than their king, Eze-Oba. He was a man who believed he could do anything, and perhaps that was his downfall. One night, under a bright, full moon that seemed to hang low over the earth, Eze-Oba stood in the market square. He looked up at the glowing orb and declared, "Why should the moon belong to no one? Why should it not belong to me, Eze-Oba, the greatest king of all lands?" At first, the crowd murmured in disbelief. Surely the king was joking. But then he raised his staff high and spoke with conviction. "We will take the moon. It will shine in my palace, and the world will bow to the might of Nnokwa." The people cheered, though many were unsure. Who could dare question the king? His word was law. Messengers were sent out, and every able-bodied man in the kingdom was summoned to the market square. Thousands of warriors gathered, their strength unmatched, their loyalty unwavering. Eze-Oba's plan was simple yet foolish. The men would climb on top of one another's backs, forming a tower so high it could reach the moon. The strongest stood at the bottom, their feet planted firmly in the earth, while others climbed higher and higher. The tower grew taller, reaching into the sky. The moon's light bathed them in silver, and for a moment it seemed as though they might succeed. The crowd watched on as their heart pounded with a mix of awe and fear. But the gods were watching, and they were not pleased. Amadioha, the god of thunder and justice, looked down from the heavens. He saw the arrogance of Eze-Oba and the audacity of men, trying to claim what belonged to the gods. His voice boomed across the night sky. "Foolish mortals, the moon is not for man. Your pride will be your downfall." Before anyone could react, a bolt of lightning struck the tower. The crack of thunder shook the earth, and the tower collapsed in an instant. Men in their thousands fell from the sky, their cries drowned by the roar of the storm. The ground trembled and split open, swallowing many of them whole. Eze-Oba stood at the base, his face pale with terror as he witnessed the destruction. The gods' wrath was clear, and their punishment would not end there. From that night on, Nnokwa was cursed. The men who survived the fall were broken, their bodies and spirits shattered. Over the years, the men of Nnokwa changed. With each generation they grew shorter. Their women, once celebrated for bearing giants, gave birth to men not taller than the yam molds. The laughter of dwarves replaced the battle cries of giants. It is said the spirits of the men buried that night still cry out from beneath the earth, a reminder of the king's arrogance. We tell this story not to dwell the people of Nnokwa in their shame, but to remember. Ambition without humility is dangerous, and the gods do not forgive easily. So the next time you look at the moon, remember the lesson of Nnokwa. Some things are meant to remain beyond human reach.